Hi, I'm Tosh Dalde. This is SDG Labs. Delta x equals v naught t plus 1 half at squared, and that's a fact. What's going on? Question. How can we determine the degree, leading coefficient, and y-intercept of a polynomial function written in factored form? I like factored form because it kind of tells me how to graph this thing really quickly. Let me show you. Let's do this one. F of x, which I've been writing f of x, I've also been writing y, they're the same thing. I interchange those two pretty often. Equals 3x times x plus 1 times x minus 4 times x minus 2. Alright, I'll be honest with you, this one's going to be a little bit of work. It's not going to be hard, I think, but it's going to be, I don't know, just some work. Alright, really, let's multiply everything out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this 3x into here. So I've got 3x squared plus 1. Or, no, I'm sorry. If I multiply that by 3x, I end up getting a 3x there. So it's 3x squared plus 3x times x minus 4 times x minus 2. Alright. I'm going to multiply these guys out over here. I could do it really in any order I want. They're all multiplication. I'm going to do this just because this one looks like the easiest to foil. First, outer, inner, last. You know that game that we play. So the first times the first is x squared. The outers times the outers is negative 2x. The inner times the inner is negative 4x. And the last times the last is positive 8. And I want to multiply that whole monstrosity by this. All right. Now, what is this thing? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply every single term in here by this number first. So let's try that. 3x cubed, that would be this times that, minus, oh, you know what? Before I do this, hold on one second. I'm going to simplify this part right here. The negative 2x, the negative 4x, I can combine that to be just negative 6x. Alright, here we go. Now I'm going to make sure that this guy over here meets everyone inside of this house. Alright, that would be 3x cubed, that's that times that, minus 3x squared times negative 6x. Let's deal with the numbers. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. X squared times x is x cubed. Nope. Yes, it is x cubed. I messed up the first one. The 3x squared times x squared, that's x to the 4th power. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm screwing this one up a little bit. All right, and I've got a plus 8. 8 times 3 is 8, 16, 24, so that's 24x squared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically go and make sure that this guy meets everybody inside the house as well. So the 3x times x squared, that's plus 3x cubed. The 3x times this negative 6x, that would be negative 18x squared. And then the 3x times 8, that would be plus 24x. Sorry I ran out of room there. That's a 24x way down there. All right, I'm going to combine all the terms together, pull them all in. And let's see, I've got a 3x to the 4th power. I only got one of those. As far as x cubes go, I've got this guy and this guy. So what is negative 18x cubed plus 3x cubed? That's negative 15x cubed. And as far as the x squared terms go, I've got that guy and that guy. So that would be 24 minus 18. What is 24 minus 18? Is that 6? All right, fine, let's just go with that. Plus 6x squared. And then this guy right here, he's all alone because there is no other just regular x term, just like there is no other x to the 4th term. So I'm just going to tack him on as plus 24x. This and this is the same thing. They're both f of x. This is just written out in factored form. This is written out in standard form. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why we call it standard form. Standard form isn't very useful. It's not as useful as factored form, to be honest, in my opinion. But anyway, what is the degree of this polynomial? Well, it's to the 4th power. I can tell you that. What is the leading coefficient? It's 3. What is the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept is when you plug in x equals 0. If we plug in x equals 0 into here, 0, 0, 0, 0. So your y-intercept is actually 0. If there were a number out here, that would be your y-intercept, but in this case, there was no number out there, so your y-intercept was 0. That's what the standard form is very useful for. To be honest with you, I'm a big fan of this factored form because I think that, all right, because we know that it's an x4 term, I know that it's probably going to open up, it's going to do something funky, and it's going to go back up, okay? I know that that's what the graph is going to look like, something like that. I know that that 3, positive 3, is going to tell me that they're both going to open up. If it were a negative, they would both open down. And then the y-intercept would basically tell me where the y-intercept is. So in this case, it might look like something like that. This over here, on the other hand, gives me really good information as well. Because this tells me all of the places where x equals 0. So without using a graphing calculator, I'm going to graph this thing just to see how beast mode I can get. Alright, let's see. At x equal to 0, this whole thing is going to equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set f of x equal to 0. I'm basically setting y equal to 0. I'm asking, what are my x-intercepts? Well, one is at x equals 0. Right there. One is that x equal to -1, because if I plug in a -1 into here, this will be -1 plus 1. That would be 0. And since I'm multiplying it by everything else, it doesn't matter what this is or this is. If I plug a -1 into here, that will give me -5, but it doesn't matter because I'm multiplying it by 0, nor does it matter what that is because I'm multiplying it by 0, or this because I'm multiplying it by 0, so that -1 will give me a 0 as well. So that is another 0. This right here says that positive 4 will also give me a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here it says positive 2 will also give me a 0. 1, 2, that will give me a 0. And if I think about it, if I want to graph this, I would say that the graph probably looks something like this. It's going to start high, it's going to end high, it's going to cross through these points, I would say that that's pretty much my graph right there. And I can accurately get exactly where they cross from the factored form. I could get what it kind of looks like from this form as well. So there you go. Shoots, bro. Up out.